Walk onto almost any dealership lot right now, and you'll see the same thing. Brand new SUVs just sitting there. Weeks go by, then months. Some have been there for over a year. And yes, these are 2025 models. Buyers aren't showing up. Dealers are stuck paying for inventory that isn't moving, and it's getting more expensive by the day. So which SUVs are piling up the fastest right now? Today, we're breaking down 15 models dealers simply cannot move. And some of these will genuinely surprise you. Number 15, 2025 Nissan Pathfinder. This one should be an easy sell. 3 rows, big space, family-friendly reputation. On paper, it should sell easily. But buyers keep walking away, and the data backs that up. The fuel economy is outdated. The Pathfinder gets around 21 miles per gallon in the city. A Toyota Highlander Hybrid gets 36 combined. Families sit down, run the numbers, and realize they'll spend thousands more on fuel over the years at the same price point. Then they sit inside a Toyota or Hyundai. Come back to the Pathfinder, and the difference is obvious. The interior is comfortable, but it feels a generation behind. The infotainment screen, the materials, the layout, all of it trails what competitors offer at similar prices. Once people start thinking that, the sale disappears. That's where buyers move on to something else. Dealers are stacking incentives. Discounts keep growing, but even that isn't pulling people back fast enough. Number 14, 2025 Toyota Sequoia. Toyota normally sells everything it builds, not this one. The Sequoia is sitting longer than expected, and the reason is straightforward. Price shock. Many trims push well beyond $80,000. The top capstone trim crosses $90,000. At that number, buyers stop comparing it to Chevrolets and start comparing it to real luxury SUVs. That's where it falls apart. A Sequoia suddenly competing against vehicles that look and feel far more upscale inside and out. That comparison doesn't go Toyota's way. Not at that price, then it gets worse. The Sequoia only comes as a hybrid now. Buyers who don't want a hybrid have nowhere else to go in the lineup. Toyota made that decision for them. For a lot of families, that's a deal breaker. Number 13, 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander. Affordable price, 3 rows. Good standard features. Looks like a solid buy. Then people actually drive it. The biggest complaint is acceleration. The transmission makes it feel worse. You press the gas, and it struggles. That's not what buyers expect in a modern SUV. Test drives end with polite smiles and no sale. And there's the brand problem on top of that. Mitsubishi's resale value is among the weakest in the segment. Buyers who run the numbers realize they're not just buying a slow SUV. They're buying one that bleeds value faster than almost anything else on the lot. That combination is nearly impossible to overcome. Number 12, 2025 Chevrolet Blazer. Bold styling, sporty, aggressive, looks impressive on the lot, but buyers get inside expecting space. Then realize rear visibility is poor and cargo room isn't there. The Blazer actually offers less cargo space than the Equinox, a cheaper vehicle in the same showroom. That's when they start walking away. Then there's the EV version. It launched with serious software problems in early 2024. Recall notices followed. Chevrolet halted sales entirely for several weeks. That story damaged the Blazer name across the entire lineup. Buyers remember that, and they don't forget it. Shoppers looking at the gas version are hesitant now too. Brand damage doesn't stay in one corner. Chevrolet is offering significant discounts. But trust, once it's gone, takes a long time to rebuild. Number 11, 2025 Honda Passport. Honda's reliability normally sells vehicles on its own, not here. The Passport doesn't fit anywhere. It's larger than compact SUVs, but smaller than full 3-row models. Families who need space jump straight to something bigger. Couples and single buyers want something smaller and cheaper. That leaves the Passport sitting in the middle where fewer people are actually looking. And here's the pricing problem. The Passport starts around $42,000, more than some competitors that offer 3 full rows of seating. Buyers start asking the same question. Why pay more for fewer seats? And dealers don't have a good answer. Number 10, 2025 Ford Explorer. The Explorer used to dominate this segment, completely dominate it. The newest version isn't doing that. The issue isn't performance. It isn't comfort. It isn't pricing. It looks the same. The current Explorer platform has been around since 2020. 5 years in, and the exterior styling hasn't changed much. Buyers walk onto the lot, glance at the Explorer, and think they've already seen it. From a distance, you genuinely can't tell if you're looking at a new model or one from several years ago. In a market where fresh design justifies a new price tag, that familiarity is a serious problem. Because it doesn't feel new. Dealers watch shoppers walk past it towards something that actually catches their eye. That's a hard problem to fix without a complete redesign. Number 9. 2025 Infiniti QX50. Infiniti built the QX50 to compete directly with BMW and Mercedes. Buyers walk away after one drive. The reason is the variable compression engine. Infiniti calls it VC Turbo technology, the world's first production variable compression ratio engine. Sounds impressive on paper, but in the real world, acceleration feels inconsistent. Sometimes smooth, sometimes delayed, like the engine can't decide what it wants to do. That unpredictability kills confidence immediately, and that's where buyers check out. Luxury buyers spending $45,000 to $55,000 expect every input to feel polished and predictable. The QX50 doesn't deliver that consistently. Hesitant luxury buyers rarely sign the paperwork. Number 8. 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe. Hyundai completely redesigned this one. Boxy shape, bold lines, rugged, almost retro appearance. Some buyers love it, a lot don't. And when people are spending $50,000, they don't gamble on design. It's a love it or leave it design. For a large portion of the target audience, it feels too extreme for a family vehicle. Hyundai's own data shows the redesign attracted new buyers, but pushed away a significant share of returning Santa Fe owners. At that price point, people default to something visually safe, something that won't feel polarizing in 5 years. The bold design that was supposed to grab attention is pushing buyers straight to competitors. The Santa Fe generates strong reactions in the showroom. Getting those reactions to turn into sales is the hard part. Number 7. 2025 Dodge Durango. Strong power, real power, V8 power. That hasn't changed, but buyers sit inside and immediately feel how old it is. And that's hard to ignore. This design has been around since 2011. Over 14 years on the same basic platform. Screens look dated, controls feel behind. The materials haven't kept pace with what competitors offer at similar prices. And competitors have lapped the Durango multiple times in that stretch. Once people notice that, they ask a question dealers really don't want to hear. Is a new version coming soon? When buyers suspect a redesign is around the corner, many of them decide to wait rather than buy something that's about to feel obsolete. That hesitation is stacking up in dealer lots across the country. Number 6. 2025 Acura MDX. Well-built, comfortable ride, strong reliability record, but one thing keeps costing sales. The touchpad infotainment system. Acura calls it the true touchpad interface. Instead of a touchscreen like almost every competitor, it's a trackpad controller mounted below the screen. Using it while driving is frustrating. That's where buyers give up on it. Spend a full Saturday test driving 5 luxury SUVs. The one with the most frustrating controls sticks in your memory when you get home and start deciding. BMW, Lexus, Mercedes, all of them moved to intuitive touchscreens. Acura didn't. That trackpad is sending buyers straight to Lexus and BMW lots instead. And that's where the sale happens. Number 5. 2025 Toyota Venza. Efficient, smooth, genuinely refined for the price. And it's still sitting on lots. Buyers don't know what this SUV is supposed to be. The Venza is hybrid only, no gas only option. It's not as rugged as the 4Runner or Highlander. It doesn't carry a Lexus badge. It's not as spacious or practical as the Highlander, which costs a similar amount and offers 3 rows. There's no clear answer for why someone should choose the Venza over something with a clearer purpose. In a crowded market, confusion sends people somewhere else. Even Toyota can't save a vehicle buyers can't explain. Not when buyers are confused. Number 4. 2025 GMC Terrain. Solid comfort. Respectable features. Not a bad vehicle, but buyers hear a redesign is coming, and they wait. That's it. Sales stop. Automotive media is covering it. YouTube channels are covering it. Online forums are full of people debating whether to hold off. When people believe a completely updated version is just around the corner, most of them decide to wait rather than buy the outgoing model. That hesitation is real. Dealer inventory is climbing. Days on lot are building fast. Being the last model before a redesign is one of the hardest positions a vehicle can be in. Number 3. 2025 Nissan Murano. The Murano once stood out. Bold styling, smooth ride, a comfortable highway cruiser. But buyers see the design and it already feels old. In a fast-moving market, standing still is the same as falling behind. The current Murano has been largely unchanged since 2015. Fresher designs sit right next to it on the showroom floor, and the comparison isn't kind. Then there's the bigger problem. Nissan as a brand is going through serious financial difficulty. The company reported a $5 billion loss in fiscal 2024. Factory closures, thousands of job cuts, leadership turmoil, merger talks with Honda that ultimately fell apart. Shoppers who do any research before visiting a dealership arrive with doubts already formed. Doubts about resale value, doubts about parts availability, doubts about whether Nissan will look the same in 5 years. That's a heavy weight for any vehicle to carry, and buyers don't overlook it. Number 2, 2025 Jeep Renegade. Looks fun, adventurous, compact, and urban. Then families open the rear door and immediately realize it's too small. The rear seat legroom measures just 35 inches, noticeably tighter than nearly every competitor in the segment. The compact dimensions make sense for city driving, but most SUV buyers want something genuinely versatile. Once that realization hits, people move on within minutes. That's where the deal ends. And then there's the Stellantis problem. Jeep's parent company has been hammered with quality concerns and recalls across its entire lineup. The Compass, the Wagoneer, the Hornet, all of them carrying serious reliability baggage. That reputation follows buyers into Jeep showrooms regardless of which vehicle they're looking at. The Renegade was already fighting uphill against the interior. Carrying Stellantis reliability baggage on top of that turns a hard sell into an almost impossible one. Number 1, 2025 Toyota BZ4X. Here it is. The SUV dealers say is the single hardest vehicle to move right now. And here's what makes this one genuinely shocking. This is a Toyota, one of the most trusted names in automotive history. Decades of reliability, millions of loyal customers. And it still can't sell. The launch went badly. Wheel hub bolts were insufficiently tightened at the factory, meaning wheels could literally detach while driving. Toyota issued a recall covering nearly 2,700 vehicles and halted sales completely. That story spread everywhere. Car YouTube, automotive media, Reddit forums, and it stayed with buyers. Once buyers lose trust like that, they don't come back, especially not at this price. Then there's the range. Around 220 miles on a full charge. In 2025, that number is below average. The Hyundai Ioniq 6 offers over 360 miles. The Tesla Model Y delivers 330. Toyota is asking competitive money for yesterday's range numbers. Charging speed is another problem. The BZ4X tops out at around 150 kilowatts. Competitors regularly hit 250 kilowatts and above. What takes a competitor 20 minutes takes the BZ4X significantly longer. And even loyal Toyota customers, people who've never had a bad experience with the brand, are hesitant to step into an electric model with that history attached to it. The BZ4X isn't just slow selling, it's sitting on lots for months. In some markets, dealers are discounting it more aggressively than almost any other vehicle on the lot just to move a single unit. For a Toyota, that's genuinely shocking. These are the SUVs dealers are struggling to move right now. Some are overpriced, some are outdated, and some have problems buyers don't trust. Once buyers lose confidence, these vehicles just sit. But here's what's worth paying attention to. Vehicles sitting on lots mean real discounts. Dealers pay floor plan costs every single day those SUVs don't move. That creates negotiating leverage that almost never exists on popular models. So while these are headaches for dealers, patient buyers could walk away with some serious deals right now. If you found this valuable, subscribe so you catch the next breakdown. See you in the next one.